What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about the wonderful world of Ravencoin. Ravencoin's on a bit of a tear. So I'm going to break down what Ravencoin is, what its price potential is, as well as talking about the team behind it and the focal point of the project. Before I do, as always, the spreadsheet's updated. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would crash it in this bull cycle. If you'd invested $100 into each one, you'd actually be in profit for $20,755. So with your $2,600 investment, that makes $23,355. That's pretty good. There's still tons more gains to be had. I've held all of these at one point or another, and I've cashed out in tons of positions on all of them. So this is not reflective of what I hold anymore. In fact, if you want to see what I hold, check out Copy My Crypto. The link is in the description. My portfolio has been set up and created and balanced to make the maximum possible gains during this bull cycle. And we are so close to the tipping point to get right back into full-blown bull mode, parabolic gains. So you want to be getting into crypto now, because 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the line, when everything's up 50, 60, 100%, your gains are going to be so much less. Copy My Crypto members, and particularly the bunch that we've had that have joined this week, are buzzing because there's been huge gains in the holdings just this week. We've got some of the biggest gainers in this portfolio. You want to see what they are? Check out the link in the description. Right, guys. Ravencoin. What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about the wonderful world of Ravencoin. Ravencoin's on a bit of a tear. So I'm going to break down what Ravencoin is, what its price potential is, as well as talking about the team behind it and the focal point of the project. Before I do, as always, the spreadsheet's updated. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would crash it in this bull cycle. If you'd invested $100 into each one, you'd actually be in profit for $20,755. So with your $2,600 investment, that makes $23,355. That's pretty good. There's still tons more gains to be had. I've held all of these at one point or another, and I've cashed out in tons of positions on all of them. So this is not reflective of what I hold anymore. In fact, if you want to see what I hold, check out Copy My Crypto. The link is in the description. My portfolio has been set up and created and balanced to make the maximum possible gains during this bull cycle. And we are so close to the tipping point to get right back into full-blown bull mode, parabolic gains. So you want to be getting into crypto now, because 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the line, when everything's up 50, 60, 100%, your gains are going to be so much less. Copy My Crypto members, and particularly the bunch that we've had that have joined this week, are buzzing because there's been huge gains in the holdings just this week. We've got some of the biggest gainers in this portfolio. You want to see what they are? Check out the link in the description. Right, guys. Ravencoin. Ravencoin is a fork of Bitcoin. It's actually an absolute beast in terms of growth that they've had. You know, if you put it into context, it was at 1 cent like in January of around March of last year. So it's actually peaked at around 23.5 cents. In fact, we're sitting on about 8.8 cents. So you're really looking at about 2.6x, 2.7x from the all-time high from the current price point. Ravencoin is a very, very interesting one. So let me break it down for you. Firstly, the team. Bruce Fenton, Tron Black, and Joel Waite are the founders. Fenton is an executive director on the board of Bitcoin Foundation from 2015 to 2018. Before that, he was vice president of Morgan Stanley in the 90s, managing director of Atlantis Consulting for 13 years, and he works as managing director of of Chainstone Labs. Tron Black, software developer, 30 years odd experience, and he's been a CEO at several software companies. Been working in crypto since 2013, including Verified Wallet, Coin CPA, and T0. He's currently employed by Medici Ventures, subsidiary of Overstock.com, which is completely focused on blockchain technology. And then you've got Joel Waite, who is the CTO at Overstock. And he's been involved with Medici Ventures in roles of COO and CTO, veteran software developer, who basically got into software developing right in the middle of the dot-com bubble. Now we know the dot-com bubble. So, Ravencoin is a fork of the Bitcoin code. They have multiplied the Bitcoin amount by 1,000, so there's actually 21 billion Ravencoin. They've reduced the block time down to a minute. And the mining algorithm is called K8 formerly X16R and X16RV2, respectively. Now, the whole idea for Ravencoin, or a large premise behind Ravencoin, was to ensure that there isn't necessarily the monopoly on mining that there is in crypto, and that there is in Bitcoin that we've seen. You know, all these mining rigs. Now, because it's proof of work, it's obviously opens itself up to serious attacks. You know, proof of work, distributed ledger means you're going to get potential 51% attacks. We have seen it with Ravencoin. June of 2020, there was a successful hack. During the attack, hackers managed to instantly mint 315 million Ravencoin, which constitutes about 1.5% of Ravencoin's supply cap of 21 billion. At the moment of the announcement, the price of the stolen RVN was estimated to be worth about $5.7 million. None of the existing coin holders were directly affected by the attack. But we don't like seeing these attacks. Okay? They are a problem, and it certainly can make you lose faith in a particular project, or make you concerned about a project's security when you see these. But that is the only attack that we've seen, or the only successful attack. Now, Ravencoin is ASIC resistant, which because it uses the Kapao hashing algorithm, it discourages the development of ASIC hardware. Now, that's the big problem that we've had with Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin used to be mineable for anyone. You could genuinely use it on CPU. There was a point. I mean, to be fair, there was a point with Bitcoin where you could get like half a Bitcoin using the what's it called? The faucets when it first came out. Obviously, as Bitcoin became more valuable, but quickly went away. But it doesn't necessarily guarantee being ASIC resistant, but that's its goal, is that there's not going to be this ridiculous sort of mining rig operation that makes Ravencoin inaccessible to everyone. Now, Ravencoin has actually been breaking through really good price points lately. If you actually look at the price point, it's up 23% today. If you actually look in the last 2 weeks, since 23rd of July. So yeah, pretty much bang on 2 weeks. It's gone from 5.7 cents up to 8.8 cents. Looking about over 50, well, 50%. Yeah, it's pretty bloody good. Okay, can't moan at that in terms of gains. Volumes per day is very nice. You're getting good volume per day. Although I mean, it's up dramatically in the last 24 hours. In terms of circulating supply, about 9.3 billion. So there's still a long way to go to fulfill the total supply. Now, what I do really like about Ravencoin, so this is what I wanted to get to, is you can basically issue anything onto the tokens. So when you build on Ravencoin, these tokens can have whatever property the issuer of the token decides. So they can be limited in quantity, named, and be issued as securities or as collectibles. So you can make your own security token within minutes and have it trade worldwide. As an example, you can make your token and have it represent a share of a gold bar, a share of a silver coin, a share of physical euros, land deeds, DC comic, energy credits. You can have it represent virtual goods. You can have it represent physical and digital assets. You can have it represent gift cards, air miles. It's a very clever idea in terms of providing real use case for Ravencoin's tokens. So the block reward is 5,000 RVN per minute instead of 50 BTC. The total coin supply will be 21 billion instead of 21 million. And because you've got that asset and sub-asset issuance, there's a greater reason to develop and use Ravencoin. Long term, you've got a good team behind it. Community is is big on Ravencoin. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on Ravencoin. I gotta say, the white paper is worth reading. It's actually really, again, it's so much to do with ensuring there isn't a what's the phrase? A control mechanism in place on to Ravencoin. They want to mitigate any centralization and remove this ASIC problem. They want to ensure that it can be by the people for the people sort of thing, which is interesting given that it's coming from a former VP of Morgan Stanley, but who are not traditionally known for being about the people, being about the 1%, right? But I like the idea. I really like the idea. And to be fair to Ravencoin, there's been some decent developments. If you actually check out the projects built upon Ravencoin, there's atomic swaps constantly, or that have been built upon. Now, atomic swaps have become so much less relevant than they used to be, obviously with the developments in terms of just natural swaps and swap protocols and so forth. The Raven wallet is going okay. The synths are the big thing for me. And I do want to see how the synths develop on Ravencoin. But if they can mitigate and minimize 51% attacks, and they can't have another bunch. But if the minimization of 51% attacks is and they don't continue to occur, we could really see a decent price point for Ravencoin. I've seen people predicting it might overtake Litecoin. I think that's optimistic. But make no mistake, this could be feasibly this bull cycle, 50, 60 cents, might do a 8, 10x would be the sort of top, I would say. but it might do up to about 50 cents, which is about 6x from where it is now. But that's under the assumption there's no more 51% of tax. I've recently spoken about Bitcoin SV and how like wrecked that's going to continue to be if it keeps getting hacked, keeps getting attacked. And if Ravencoin can hold that off, if there's no issues with the distributed ledger, then I don't see why it couldn't do a 6x or so, maybe more. But that's a big ask right now. Yeah, because you still be looking at about 5 billion market cap if it does that. So, but it's certainly achievable. Certainly achievable. So let's see. Long term, 5 years down the line, could be $2 or $3. But this bull cycle, 50 cents per coin. I think it could roughly double its all-time high so far, maybe a bit more. Because people are going off of Bitcoin SV, people are going off Bitcoin Cash. This is a valid alternative. So, something to consider. I quite like it. And it's certainly got decent momentum behind it. So yeah, check it out, guys. Have a look. Tell me what you think. And if you haven't, check out Copy My Crypto. Like I say, I've got some of the biggest gainers in the last week or so. My coins are pumping. So if you want to see what I'm holding, if you want to make the gains, if you're not sure what the hell you're doing with your portfolio and you're concerned about the fact that you're only going to have a few months potentially of this bull cycle, so you want to maximize your gains, check out the link in the description. Make some profits, guys. Make some profits. We are at Copy My Crypto, so continue to do that. All right. Take care and stay safe, guys. Bye.